Next is the multi-currency capabilities in QuickBooks. We added multi-currency actually back in version 9, but it's still important today. And this is an example of an invoice that's been entered for a customer in euros. So multi-currency will allow you to create invoices for customers that you deal with in different currencies. It'll allow you to create bills for vendors that you deal with in different currencies. It will also allow you to create different banking transactions, checks, credit card transactions, bank transfers, things of that sort for different currencies. But in this invoice example, you'll notice that we have a dollar amount in euros as well as US dollars. This is based upon my home currency of US dollars using the exchange rate that's been entered in the file. Now we do include a currency list, and there are 158 known currencies. Most are included on this list. But as long as the US dollar is your home currency, we will allow you to download the latest exchange rates right into QuickBooks. Next, we'll talk about some of the sophisticated inventory capabilities in QuickBooks Enterprise, and we'll start with our new advanced inventory capabilities. This will allow you to track inventory in multiple inventory locations. Once you've activated and enabled advanced inventory, you'll then be able to perform advanced inventory functions in QuickBooks Enterprise. One of the first things you'll want to do is set up your inventory site list. This is where you'll create your different inventory locations. You'll then be able to sell inventory, using those locations, and also receive inventory using those different locations. We've also given you the ability to transfer inventory between your different locations. You can even search your items list for those items that you want to transfer or select them from the list. Once you've chosen the items that you want to transfer, we'll even allow you to print a transfer ticket. We've given you the ability to make inventory adjustments for quantity or value by site. Now, we've also given you the ability to search that items list or select the items that you want to make the adjustment for. And QuickBooks Enterprise is the only version of our software that will allow you to make an adjustment to quantity or value in multi-user mode. For those of you that are doing manufacturing in QuickBooks, we'll now allow you to build inventory assemblies by inventory site. And that's unique to QuickBooks Enterprise. QuickBooks Enterprise is also the only version of their software that will allow you to make a substitution on the fly to any of your components of your assembly. In our Premier software, you would need to go all the way back to the items list to make the substitution. QuickBooks Enterprise will also allow you to print this build screen if you needed to use it as some sort of a shop floor traveler or as some sort of recipe. Now, we've also added some new reports to help with advanced inventory reporting. We've added a new quantity on hand by site report, an inventory valuation summary by site report, an inventory stock status by site report, and an inventory sales by site report. Next, we'll talk about some of the advanced reporting capabilities in QuickBooks Enterprise. And we're going to start with the new company snapshot. The company snapshot is sort of like a dashboard. This will allow you to get a view of the overall health of your business. This includes the ability to add content around things like account balances, previous year income. You can see top customers by sales or best-selling items. There's also a payment snapshot. The payments dashboard will allow you to run your most common receivable reports, will allow you to see your invoice payment status and your AR aging by period. And then there's a new customer dashboard. The customer dashboard will allow you to see information like the number of years that you've had them as a customer, their average days to pay, their open balance, and you can add content to see the accounts receivable balances, to see the received payments, and their sales history. Next, we'll talk about the Report Center. The Report Center is by far the easiest way to find reports that you're looking for in QuickBooks. But we've added some new views. First is this thumbnail view. This will allow you to see the major category of the report, and it gives you a thumbnail view of the report that you might be looking for, and then just double click to bring up that report on your screen. Then we have the list view. This will allow you to scroll through, find the report that you're looking for, and click the report icon to display that report on your screen. And we also have the new carousel view, and this will allow you to simply scroll through to find the report that you're looking for, and then simply double click to bring up that report on your screen. Now, I've added some new reports to version 11, and those reports include an average days to pay report. This will allow you to see how long it takes your customers to pay you. We have a new report that includes ship to address, so you can have sales by ship to address. And we've also improved the way that things total in QuickBooks. So unlike a sales by item summary and on an open sales orders by item report, now the open balance and quantities are correctly reflected. Next is something that's unique to QuickBooks Enterprise, and that's the ability to combine reports for multiple companies. Now, different companies may have different needs for this particular feature. Some may have different divisions that they keep separate company files for. Some may have different locations that they keep separate company files for. But this will allow you to go in, choose the files that you want to see combined. Now, there is a practical limit of about 250 different company files. You'll choose your date range. You'll choose your report basis, and then you'll choose reports that you want to see combined. Now, we've added 2 reports to version 11. We've added the profit and loss by class and the sales by customer summary. After you've chosen the reports that you want to see combined, simply click on the Combine Reports in Excel button. Now, here's our balance sheet standard. You'll notice we have a list of accounts on the left-hand side. Each company has its own column, and then we're totaled in the last column. Now, one of the common questions we get here, do the chart of accounts need to be the same in each of the company files? The answer to that is no. Where the accounts are the same, we'll see amounts on the same line. Now, the accounts do need to match for both name and number. So here's the balance sheet standard. This is the balance sheet summary, profit and loss standard, statement of cash flows, trial balance, the new profit and loss by class, and the new sales by customer summary. We also include a statement writer with QuickBooks Enterprise called the Intuit Statement Writer. And this is what will allow you to create GAAP-compliant reports using your QuickBooks data. And we include a host of reports that you can start with. We include balance sheet reports. We include income statements, cash flow statements, budget reports, retained earnings statements. We'll even allow you to create supporting documentation, so cover letters, audit reports, compilation reports, review reports. We'll even allow you to create your own supporting documentation outside of the statement writer and import it into the statement writer. Now, the statement writer will allow you to create multiple reports at one time. And we've added new date ranges, like a new 13-week quarter report. The statement writer will allow you to do things like roll up. It will allow you to include multiple accounts on one line, and it will allow you to change major account headings. And the last thing custom reporting wise is something that's unique to QuickBooks Enterprise, and that is our new ODBC interface. The new ODBC interface will allow you to create custom reports outside of QuickBooks using your QuickBooks data. So if there was some sort of report that you needed that you weren't getting exactly as you wanted it inside QuickBooks, very possible for you to use the ODBC interface and an outside reporting tool like Excel, Access, or even Crystal Reports to build that report outside of QuickBooks using your QuickBooks data. Next, we'll talk about some of the productivity tools that are built into QuickBooks Enterprise that will allow you to save time and be more productive. I mentioned earlier that QuickBooks Enterprise will allow you to scale all the way up to 30 users, and QuickBooks Enterprise is also the only version of our software that we support in a terminal services environment. And what that means is this is the typical installation for a QuickBooks product. You have the software installed on all of your client machines with the database located on a central computer or server. Remote users need to log into one of those workstations on your local area network to have access to the program. With QuickBooks Enterprise, we'll allow you to install the software on a Windows terminal server or remote desktop server, and then each of your local area network users would simply log into the server to access the program. You could also have up to 30 users access the program remotely, and that is unique to QuickBooks Enterprise. I mentioned earlier that now in QuickBooks Enterprise, you can work in two company files at the same time. To access that particular feature, first, just minimize the current file that you're in and double-click your icon on your desktop. Now, the system will tell you that you're now working in a second company file and that you'll have some limited functionality in the second company file. Choose the file that you wish to open. You'll notice in the second company file will be identified by the word secondary in the name. And the first company file will have the name primary after the name. Now in the second company file, you can enter transactions. You can run reports. But you will not be able to do any sort of import or run payroll in the second company file.